Is there a kind of iconic film series that you wish you'd been in that you haven't starred in?
I've never been in a Marvel film. I mean, I'm not a huge comic book fan, don't know anything about Marvel. You know, each time they do another Spider-Man, I have to ask my son, I said, what's going on? Now he's there, he's away from home, what's the matter with him, far from home, what's all that about? Just go home and get on with it. Yeah, I could be in a Marvel film, but what could I play? Some sort of little character, probably. Are there any small kind of characters in Marvel? There was Ant-Man, but they've done that one. Thank you very much, and good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just amazed to see so many people here this early on a Sunday.
Right?
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
They made it out. We all made it out. How's the weekend been so far for you?
It's been good. It's been a nightmare, should I say. No, it's been great. Met lots of lovely people. Also met Richard Dreyfuss as well. So he's a legend. I mean, amazing. Really nice guy too. So I always like meeting the other guests at these events. It's cool.
Yeah. So wait, that was your first time meeting Richard?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I'm sure everyone is just as excited to meet you. Okay, so let's
I don't think he was excited to meet me. I don't know.
Well, since we are at Nightmare Weekend, we're at a convention. Out of curiosity, do you collect anything? Are you a collector of sorts?
I collect my own pop figures.
Yeah.
And Lego minifigures as well of my characters. So I've got quite a few pops now. I have Weeteeth from... is that Rogue One, isn't it? Yep, I think so, yeah. Weeteeth from Rogue One. There's a Weasel from Solo. There's also the fighting droids from Solo. There's a Willow now. Leprechaun, several iterations of Willow, of Leprechaun. There's also 3 different Wickets. And there's also now a Goblin as well from Harry Potter. That's bigger than all the others. I can't figure that.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a giant Wicket one as well, almost life-size.
So it just seems like, what, do you have an entire room just filled with collections of you?
Exactly. I'm responsible for all the plastic on the planet now. I'm polluting the planet with my plastic figures. There's also the minifigures, the Lego ones. I've got about 7 or 8 of those. I think I actually hold the record as the actor with the most minifigures.
Oh, wow.
Which is cool, yeah.
All right. Record holder, I love it. I wanted to ask about, because obviously we're going to talk about all your films and TV and stuff, but I wanted to ask about your live productions as an actor as well, and I know you were in Spamalot.
I was, yeah. That was in the West End of London, Spamalot.
Yeah, we can clap for Spamalot.
Clap away, yeah.
One of the best shows of all time.
With another legend who is Eric Idle. One day he just said to me, well, initially they wanted me to do the voice of God in the show. And I said, yeah, that sounds fun. Then before we got to doing that, they said, we want you to be in the show. We want you to play Patsy. And I love the film, and I thought, well, the Holy Grail, that is. And a lot of the show is kind of based on scenes from the Holy Grail. And so I began rehearsals and did a run in the West End, which was incredible. And then after that, I was asked to go to the Hollywood Bowl to do 3 nights of the show there as well, which is really amazing to play the Hollywood Bowl. It's one of those bucket list things.
Wow.
So yeah, it's amazing. I love Patsy. You have to kind of, the main skill you need is be able to kind of clap coconuts to sound like a horse. That's it. Forget about the singing. It was all about the coconuts, getting the rhythm exactly right.
I love it. So was this always something that you knew that you wanted to do? Did you always want to pursue a career in acting?
Not really, no. It's I think when you grow up and you're 3'6", well, I was 2'11" at the time when I was a schoolboy, so you don't get left out in the playground. You have to be louder, funnier, bigger than life, really. So I was always the loudest, the funniest in the class, and I think that was my training to become an entertainer, without me knowing it. And it wasn't until I was 11 when my grandmother heard a radio announcement from Lucasfilm looking for people to be in Star Wars. That really was my big break, that radio announcement. So without that, I wouldn't be here talking to you today.
Amazing. Oh, that's so cool.
It is cool. But I have to thank my grandmother for it, because my grandmother was the one who heard the announcement. She's always got a radio on in the kitchen, and she heard the word Star Wars, and she heard the word little person, put the 2 together and thought, that's Warwick. He loves Star Wars, and he's little as well.
Well, Thank you to your grandma.
Absolutely.
Since we are here at Nightmare Weekend, I mean, I think we'd be remiss to talk about Leprechaun. So I wanted to ask, what is like what is your background with like horror and stuff like that? Did you like scary movies growing
Well,
up?
first kind of horror for me was Nightmare on Elm Street. It was a kind of bootlegged VHS copy I watched. That was what we were doing in the 80s, just watching like pirated copies of movies. Halloween as well, those were my kind of growing up horrors. And still, I think they stand up today, those.
They do, yeah.
Excellent, yeah. But I wouldn't say I was a big horror fan. Like now I wouldn't watch one. Too scary.
Oh,
I know.
oh no.
I think when you have kids as well, you see horror slightly differently. You look at it through their eyes instead. And so I kind of, that's when I really ducked away from doing Leprechaun when I had my kids. And now that's where I wouldn't kind of pick up a horror movie to watch. I mean, I watch the Leprechaun movies every Halloween, but that's just for kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't believe it. I mean, people come up to my table very proudly and say, "This is my daughter, she's 6. We showed her Leprechaun last night."
Right.
And I look down and see this very disturbed little girl. Sorry.
Teach them young. I did see a video of you getting into like a life cast, like so a mold, and obviously you've gotten to work with a lot of special effects and prosthetics. I wanted to know what the difficulty is as an actor having to, not only have these things on your body, but also having to emote wearing these prosthetics.
Yeah, I mean, makeup is like this sort of double-edged sword. I mean, it's very unpleasant to wear the prosthetics, but they allow me to play these different characters in these films. Sometimes 2 different characters in the same film, as in the case of Deathly Hallows. I have the makeup artist to thank. Thank you very much. By the way, because of the SAG strike, I'm not promoting any of this. Please don't watch any of my films at all. Don't watch any of it. Nothing. Good, that's covered. Okay. So yeah, I mean, prosthetics are very uncomfortable, but they allow me to be these different characters. In the case of Leprechaun, that makeup was designed and applied by Gabe Bartalos, who I think is a genius in the makeup world. He produced a foam latex makeup for Leprechaun that was, fairly extreme in its look, but it also allowed me to perform through it. So I wasn't limited by lots of heavy rubber, so I could really just kind of give a normal performance and it would show through the makeup.
Which of your roles took the longest to get into a prosthetic or makeup?
I think they would be the Harry Potter makeups. In the case, firstly, Grip Hook, that was 4.5 hours, because that was kind of a forehead piece which ran right over to the back, including the ears, and then you have cheek pieces, chins, nose, and then finally dentures and very large 22mm contact lenses that covered my entire eyeball. And so when you look in the mirror in one of those makeups, you see none of you looking back. Not even your eyes looking at you, because they're completely covered. And yeah, that was the most kind of immersive, I think, intense makeup. Flitwick in those films was a lot less. That was just kind of a forehead, bold cap, ear tips, and the chin of Flitwick is my own chin. That's the only bit of me that's in the movies. So the chin and lips of Flitwick are mine, but that and my eyes, obviously. The teeth were even false as well. They were sort of capped false teeth that fit on top of your teeth, and to give Flitwick this sort of perfect smile, which was fun.
So what do you do during lunchtime and you have these teeth in? Are they removable?
Well, you don't do very much. You sort of sit there trying to preserve the makeup, eating very little, just mainly it's fluids, really. They're serving like sort of chicken legs and corn on the cob. Can't eat any of that because you'll get the grease all under the makeup, which is often glued around into your lips. So yeah, you kind of lose weight doing these productions.
Right. Oh my God. So if it's okay with you, like I mentioned before, we do have a microphone in the audience for whatever questions you guys may have. I encourage you, now is your opportunity to ask.
Very
Don't be
good.
scared.
Thank you.
We're all a family here. All right. Go ahead. We can't entirely see you, but we'll, all right. What's your name? What's your question? Ooh. Can we get the mic on in the audience, please? We might need to flip it on.
Is it working now?
Hello?
Oh, there it is.
Yes, it's definitely working.
Let there be light.
I think I speak for everyone here when I ask the question, will there be a season 2 of Life's Too Short?
Wow, thank you. Well, you know what Ricky Gervais is like. He tends to do projects and kind of finish them when they're good. He doesn't like to kind of over milk anything, unlike Star Wars. So he... ooh, controversial. Don't tweet that, please. So yeah, I don't know at this point whether they will. I mean, what's interesting is my life has continued, and all the funny things that happen to me on a daily basis have continued, and they were the inspiration for the show. So there's loads more material. Would he care to write it?
Well, thank you very much.
But thank you for
all
enjoying
you've
it.
done.
I appreciate it. Cheers. Thank you.
What's your name? What's your question?
What is your cosplay? You must tell me first.
It's from the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it's one of Jobu Tupaki's personalities.
Very good.
Thank you.
Did you make it?
No, I
No.
strangely enough had this jacket,
You just had it anyway.
and it showed up in the movie, and my husband was like, "Oh no, you're gonna wear that in public now."
So what does he do? Walk 6 feet behind you?
He doesn't look at me in the eye. So my question is, since you said you were a collector, have you collected things from sets that you may not have supposed to have
When you
kept?
say collected, do you mean stole? That's what you mean, don't you?
Yes, from any of your sets, whether it's Star
Well, I'll tell you
Wars.
what things I do have and then try and sort of be honest how I acquired them. Oddly enough, I've got Ewok toes, just 3 toes, no foot. They're just 3 toes of foam latex in a row. I have those. I have my bolas, the rocks on the end of a leather that I swing around my head in Jedi. I've got those. They're the coolest thing, I think. Because when something's been on screen, it kind of has this extra cool kind
It
of...
does.
I won't say value, but yeah, they're extra cool, they are. And I have my wand from Willow, the original wand. And it's funny, I've got it all boxed in a nice frame. It used to be in my office, but then we moved house. I put it into a storage container and then lost it. But I needed to find it because when we did the series, the props makers were trying to make the wand. I said, well, I've got one, you can cast it if you want. And I couldn't find it. So they got loads of sticks and brought them out, kind of audition sticks. It was like the X Factor for sticks. I was like, okay, another one, yeah, that's not bent enough. That's too bendy, get another one. Well, eventually we managed to get close. It wasn't perfect, but it was close.
And then how long afterwards did you find it?
I haven't found it yet.
Oh.
The containers, fortunately, are in my garden at home, so I'm going to go and root through and try and find it.
Thank you very
What else have I got? I've got some more things yet. Hang on. You're going to wish you'd never asked. You're not doing anything else today, are you?
No.
I have a Gringotts galleon. That was given to my daughter by the producer, so that's legit, that one. I have the matchbook and the joint that I used in the film Ray with Jamie Foxx.
Nice.
They're quite cool. What else do I have? I have the teeth I used as Professor Flitwick, the perfect teeth, and my goblin grip hook teeth as well. So 2 sets of dentures. And I think that's it, really.
No clothing?
No. Oh, I have a complete leprechaun outfit, including shoes and hat. No, I'm not going to wear it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's your name?
That's a good
What's your
question.
Hi, my name is Aaron. Welcome to Richmond and Warwick. I grew
Thank
up
you.
with you, mainly through like your Leprechaun.
Not
films.
literally.
Oh, no. So the topic is like with Leprechaun. Which of the films do you have the most fond memories of?
I mean, it's got to be Star Wars. You know, when you're 11 years old, you know, picture yourself on the film set of Star Wars, opposite stormtroopers, opposite Han Solo, as I saw him, Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. I mean, the 3 of them were my heroes, and I got to have a chat with them whenever I wanted. You weren't supposed to, but I didn't understand the etiquette of a film. You don't just wander over and speak to the stars between takes, but I did. Yeah, I used to go to Mark Hamill, say, can I see your lightsaber? That's not a euphemism. But yeah, they were fabulous to me, really, really nice people. Particularly Carrie. You know, whenever I took the Ewok head off, I'd be quite red and sort of flushed. She used to be standing there with chocolate milk and cookies to give me. But I cottoned onto this, I was pretty clever. Even at 11, I was like, I used to act a bit hotter. Whew. Where's Carrie? Bring the chocolate milk, Carrie. She was there wafting. More cookie, Warwick. Thank you. No, so yeah, I mean, for me, that was a very fond sort of filmmaking experience. I'm very fond of that time. Really lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, name and question.
I'm Alex. How's it going?
Hey, Alex. Good, thank you.
So I'm wearing my favorite quote right now. It means some will, some won't, so what, next? I was just wondering if you had a favorite quote and why.
Some will, some won't, next. That was roughly, was it?
Some will, some won't, so what,
So what?
next?
Next. I say that when people come up for my signature. Favorite quote? Oh, what would it be? I mean, I don't know whether I've ever said this or anyone said it. Like, the magic is in you. Because I think we all have the kind of ability to kind of create magic. Whether it's when you're kind to someone, whether you help someone, that is you giving a bit of magic into the world. So I think the magic is in you is a quote that I enjoy. Thank you. Good
Thanks for
question.
that.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just curious to know a couple of your all-time favorite films.
It's not a very sophisticated list, I will tell you. I mean, it consists of things like Vegas Vacation.
Awesome.
Applaud if you like the film as well. Boo if you don't. Planes, Trains and Automobiles. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like to try and recreate those things when I'm touring, doing these shows. But yeah, I'm a big fan of particularly John Candy and Steve Martin. And also Chevy Chase as well. I love The Muppets Christmas Carol. Yeah. And I can't believe it. I was at D23 last year promoting Willow and didn't realize there was a special edition of Muppets Christmas Carol where they kind of reintroduced some of the songs and stuff. And while I was backstage being interviewed for about Willow, they had the Muppets on stage singing some of the songs. I missed it. Yeah, I could have met them, and it was live. Anyway, that's me.
Thank you.
What else? Are there any other films? No, I think that's it. That's the list.
Awesome.
I told you I wasn't
Thanks
very
a lot.
sophisticated. What about your
It's
films?
good.
What do you like?
Children of Men, The Shining.
Children of Men, was that by Alfonso Cuarón?
Yeah, absolutely.
Directed one of the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. Prisoner of
Okay.
Azkaban.
Yeah, that was the one.
Great film.
Thank you. I
And
was in it.
Singing in the Rain.
And you like Singing in the Rain?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good one.
Hi, Warwick.
Hello.
My name's Damien. Thank you for coming out to Richmond. You've been in a ton of iconic franchises. I don't know if there are any restrictions on what you can say, but is there a kind of iconic film series that you wish you'd been in that you haven't starred in?
I've never been in a Marvel film. I mean, I'm not a huge comic book fan, don't know anything about Marvel. You know, each time they do another Spider-Man, I have to ask my son. I said, what's going on? Now he's there, he's away from home. What's the matter with him? Far from home. What's all that about? Just go home and get on with it. Yeah, I could be in a Marvel film, but what could I play? Some sort of little character, probably. Are there any small kind of characters in Marvel? There was Ant-Man, but they've done that one.
Howard the Duck, but I've done that. But yeah, there probably are a lot of roles that could be.
Because I could have a superpower, I could get into spaces no one else could get into. That's quite a superpower, isn't it?
That is.
Captain Shortass.
I would watch that movie.
Thank you. That's cool. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Hi. I read on Wikipedia that when you joined
It's
the
a lie.
Oh.
Sorry, what were we going to say?
I read on Wikipedia that when you joined the cast for Return of the Jedi, that Mark Hamill bought all the Star Wars toys you didn't have yet. Is that true?
I don't think he bought them. I think he knew someone at Kenner.
Oh, okay.
So he said, Warwick, do you collect the toys? And I said, well, I've got a couple of things. He said, well, write a list of what you want, what you haven't got, and I'll see what I can do. So it was a bit embarrassing, really, to think about it now. But I managed to fill 2 letter-sized sheets of paper with my list, presented to Mark, who looked a little surprised. He was like, oh, just a few things then. So a couple of days later, he turned up with these massive boxes with Kenner all over them. And inside was the Darth Vader figure carrying case and all of the figures that I'd written down, plus also the Millennium Falcon, which was huge. I could almost get in that thing. So yeah, all of those figures and stuff, and I still got them to this day. Yeah, cool collection. I've got Jawas without capes, everything.
Wow, that's cool.
Thank you.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Mackenzie.
Hello, Mackenzie.
I'm a very big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
I was wondering what it was like to act alongside some of your co-stars, like especially Saoirse McMartigan and the baby.
Well, firstly, I mean, Joanne is a lovely, lovely actress. She was lovely on Willow, and then again lovely on the series as well, which we were reunited on there. But thinking about what you said about Mad Bartek and Val Kilmer, I mean, the guy's a legend, honestly. He really is. He gets a lot of bad press and stuff, but he's one of the nicest people I know. He's funny, encouraging, supportive. He's one of the reasons, apart from Ron Howard, that I got through the first movie. You know, it was a very challenging thing to do physically, also quite demanding mentally. You know, there was a lot of lines, a lot of scenes I had to do. But he was always there kind of to support me, help me. You know, one of the bits of advice as an actor he gave me was, Warwick, when you do scenes, you never breathe. You've got to breathe. I hadn't noticed this, but when I act, I don't breathe. So, yeah, he was pretty good at encouraging kind of better work, really. But me and Val have kept in touch ever since. I thought it was amazing to see him in Top Gun Maverick as well. Quite emotional, wasn't it? Yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, we still keep in touch. Whenever I'm in Los Angeles, I'll try and go to see him. And he's a very prolific artist. If you ever go to his house, you leave with loads of stuff you didn't turn up with. I mean, as you're leaving, he's going, take this, take this. It's normally framed pieces of art that he's done, bits of metalwork he's made. So I went home, my suitcase was so overweight. They said, what is all this stuff in here? You've got half of LA in here. But yeah, he's a lovely, generous man.
Was it intimidating playing with like the baby on set?
Well, it was very nerve-wracking because I was 17 when we did the movie and wasn't used to holding babies at all. So you'd have these mums who had brought their babies in to be in this film and were kind of loaning their precious thing to us. And then there was me, inexperienced 17-year-old, holding the baby. And they're very heavy as well, so I was like, got a sweat on. I don't want to drop it. The mum's like, huh. And then I'm trying to act as well. Then the baby starts screaming and maybe getting a bit smelly, and I'm like, oh, please. So yeah, that was probably the hardest part of the whole thing. We actually had to do rehearsals where I had to learn to change a diaper. I wanted to be sword fighting and doing stunts, not diapers. I was 17, so you can imagine I was not happy with all of that stuff.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Julian.
Hello, Julian.
So my question is, so out of all the franchises you've done, like Harry Potter, Star Wars, even Leprechaun, what was like the hottest costume you've been in from like all the sorts of aliens you've been in Star Wars, or just the Goblin or Leprechaun?
The hottest costume. I mean, it's got to be the Ewoks, really, because they're just sort of fur and a foam padding, so there's no air getting in, no heat is escaping at all. But then they're quite soft and squidgy, so if you fall over, you're not hurting yourself. They're not heavy. They're just hot. But the most challenging ones are the droids. So particularly Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that was really challenging. Thank you. So just the suit alone weighed kind of my body weight, really, 80 pounds. So I have to kind of stand and like lift the suit, and then they put the huge head on top. And that was very, very heavy. And they realized when they constructed the suit that they had to put some bracing in the neck, because if I fell over, I'd break my own neck, because it was so heavy. But the one advantage of having a head the size of a planet is you don't have to learn the lines. You could like paste the script inside the head. So in there I had the script, I had 2 monitors. One monitor showed me a view from the film camera, so I could see myself relative to other characters next to me. And the other had a view from a camera between Marvin's eyes, so I could see where I was going.
So Wicked is probably like just the easygoing costume.
Easy, but still hot, yeah. And then the droids in Solo are challenging.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. He's early enough.
Hi,
Hello
my name's
there.
Amy.
Hey.
I had a question about your kids. Have they seen your movies, and what do they think?
Of course they have. I make them watch them.
Do they have favorites?
I don't know. I remember showing my son Willow when he was fairly young, and he used to get stressed out. I used to leave him watching it, go get on with some jobs, and then he'd come running out the lounge saying, "Dad, Dad, they're getting you." I said, "Don't worry, it's not real." He was convinced it was actually happening there and then. So yeah, Willow, they enjoy. What else? My son's into Leprechaun now. I know he's 20. He's loving those. And when your dad's in horror, you get a bit of street cred as well. So that's all good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The 10th Kingdom's another thing they enjoy. Thank you.
Well, you kind of mentioned it, but it's an honor to meet you. My name is Ariana.
Hello, Ariana.
Hi. I have been a fan of yours since Wicked and Willow. I mean, I still call my dad Dada because of you.
Dada.
Dada. Mm-hmm.
Aw.
And, you know, Harry Potter and Flitwick. But my question is about Acorn the Dwarf. What was your favorite part about playing Acorn the Dwarf? In the
That was
10th
weird. I
Kingdom?
would just mention 10th
I love the
Kingdom.
10th Kingdom.
That's cool. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it was a kind of interesting character with his makeup. You know, I always wondered what the backstory was with that kind of gash that he had down his face. He also was obsessed with getting hold of some metal to help himself escape from the prison.
Right.
The writer of the series often talked about creating a spin-off with Acorn, but that never transpired. It would have been awesome, yeah. But yeah, Acorn wasn't supposed to be in the show as much as he was, but you know John Larroquette, who played one of the lead characters, there was a point in the schedule where he couldn't work anymore because we overran in our shooting schedule, and he had to go on to another project. So then they put me in another scene. You know the scene with the swamp witch?
Yes.
I wasn't supposed to be in that at all.
Really?
But then when John wasn't available, they kind of put me into that scene so they could keep shooting some stuff.
I love that scene.
It's cool, isn't it? Yeah.
So, what?
So that was an extra
Mary in
bit,
the
yeah.
basement? Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Preston. You've done so much and accomplished so much in your life. What would you say is your greatest, what makes you proud? What is your greatest accomplishment? What just keys when you think about this is my life and this is what I love?
Greatest accomplishment, I think, for me is raising two kids who are now independent people, got their own jobs, own careers. I mean, yeah, that feels like a good accomplishment. You know, putting two people on the planet who will hopefully make a difference.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, not a kind of professional thing, but a family thing, definitely.
Best answer I've heard.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
for what you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Luce.
Hello there.
Hi. This kind of goes back to family and Willow, and you kind of touched on this already, but I was wondering like how you put yourself in a headspace when you were 17 to pretend that you were like a family man with these two children and married and, you know, all of that stuff. And
Well, I think that was probably the biggest challenge. But when you've got a director like Ron Howard at your side, that becomes quite easy because he talks you through everything. And Ron, having been an actor himself, kind of really understands what an actor on set needs to hear. And he's always there supporting, giving you just the right amount of direction. But yeah, when you're an actor, it's about make-believe, isn't it? It's about imagining that you're something else. So yeah, I had to imagine responsibility. And once we'd done sort of the baby training stuff, I was a bit more into kind of being a father, kind of what it took to be a dad.
yeah, I was wondering if that kind of turned a key for you a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, definitely, yeah. And then the script also, the way it's written, you know, if you've got a whole kind of speech about being a caring father, you can sort of do nothing else but be that, I suppose.
Cool.
Thank you very much. That was a deep question.
Oh,
Thank you.
Take care.
Who have we got next?
Hello, I'm Robert.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. I have a question about one of your more obscure films.
Uh-oh.
How did you end up playing Plates in Skim Deep?
Okay, yeah, Skin Deep, and you look fairly normal as well. How come you've seen that?
Back when video stores were a thing, we found it in the back room.
It was just in a bin, wasn't it?
It really was.
Okay, so Gabe Bartalos, who designed and applied the makeup for Leprechaun, after those movies went on to become an independent filmmaker. And being a friend of his, said, Warwick, will you be in these movies? And I rather unwittingly said, yes, of course, not knowing what I was getting into. So he created this character called Plates for me. And it was a guy who used to kill people by throwing plates at them. Yeah. He has like a backpack and he can grab the plates out and wing them at people. I mean, he's incredible. I mean, it's a lot of CG effects in there, but they work. Pretty cool. Yeah. So that's how I did. I did it as a favor. Didn't get paid, but it was a favor.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Then I went on to do another movie with Gabe, which is called Saint Bernard. And that's even stranger than Skin Deep.
Don't think I've seen that one.
Don't.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, thank you.
Hello again.
Hello again. When did we meet?
Friday. I
Friday.
got the autograph and the selfie.
Oh, sorry, I didn't remember you. Sorry. It's because it's dark.
Oh, I asked the question about Acorn the Dwarf.
Well, on Friday.
Yeah, you told me about the spin-off, but anyway. My question was, how was it working with the cast in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, especially Martin Freeman?
It's good. I mean, Martin to me was like from The Office, the UK version of The Office, so I was like a big fan of his anyway. He's got this amazing kind of natural ability to be funny without even trying. Yeah, he was cool. Also, I can't remember his surname. Sam
Rockwell?
Rockwell, yeah. I mean, he's cool, very dynamic. He reminded me a lot of Val Kilmer, actually, his sort of dynamism on set, his ability to improvise. So that was pretty cool. And Zoe as well, she was lovely. All of them, I mean, I think were a really good assembly of cast. Alan, who provided the voice for Marvin. I knew Alan from Harry Potter, but when he was asked to do the voice, he made sure that he came and talked to me because he was worried, about doing it. Was he taking something away from me? I said, no, I've just suffered in that suit for months, and now you're going to take all the credit. Thank you. But of course, I mean, he's got an amazing voice anyway, hasn't he? I mean, nobody sounds like Alan Rickman, do they?
No, not at all.
So, yeah, I thought the cast was fab.
Was there any plans for a sequel?
I think there probably were at the time, but I don't think the movie performed as well as it should have done. I think it maybe fell between sort of the hardcore fans of Hitchhikers. It was a bit too kind of fluffy for them, but was too odd for the mainstream audience as well, perhaps. I don't know, but I mean, it's an interesting watch, though, isn't it? It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no sequel because of that, I think. It didn't do so well as they thought.
Well, thank you very much.
Cheers, nice to see you again.
All right, we got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, you might be too short.
Here we go. You're not too short. You're never too short.
You can take the
Just
mic out
project.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, go for
Bend
it.
it down.
Bend it down. There we go. All right.
What
Very
was the
good.
worst
Introduce yourself first.
My name is Gabriel. What was the worst nervous you've ever been, like, in a movie acting?
What was the worst one?
The most nervous you've ever been.
Most nervous I've ever been. I mean, I think you're only ever nervous as a performer if you don't know what you're doing. If you walk out onto stage and you haven't learned your lines, then you'll be very nervous because you walk out not knowing what to do. So I'm trying to think when I was most nervous. I'm normally most nervous when I'm doing a play or a show, something like Spamalot. I'm never sure, am I going to remember the dancing or the lyric of that song? I mean, I used to sing Bright Side of Life in that show, and there was always one lyric in the middle of the song I used to forget. So as we would approach it, I would be like, oh God, here it comes. But as we got to that moment, it would just kind of come out. I couldn't remember it mentally, but I would just be able to do it. So as soon as I learned to kind of relax at that moment, it would all be fine. There's also, I'm trying to think how I used to remember it. LSD was another way I used to remember it. LSD. Laugh and sing and dance. Laugh, sing, dance. I used to say laugh, dance, sing. Then the musical director said, no, it's LSD. You'll never forget it. And I haven't forgotten that now, so. Thank you, Gabriel. Good question.
Thank you.
Nice work. Hello there.
Hi, Mr. Davis. It's wonderful to meet you. Definitely a big fan for a long time of just all the things that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
that you've
Can I just ask,
accomplished.
what is your cosplay? It is a cosplay, isn't it?
I'm Wednesday Addams.
Wednesday, that's right, of course you are. I was watching The Addams Family last night, actually.
Okay.
I haven't seen
which
it
one?
for years. I don't know, they all look the same to me. I mean, it's the one where Fester isn't really Fester. He's he's an imposter.
Oh, that would be Addams Family Values.
Ah, right, cool, yeah.
So I'm also a teacher by day, and my question that I'd like to take back to my students is, what is a message that you'd like to offer to the young people as they look to figure out what they want to do with the rest of their lives?
I think a lot of people in schools now, they want to be famous, don't they? They see these shows on TV where people are instantly famous. And what I'd say to them is, don't aim for fame, aim for success. So instead, of being a performer or a singer, what you want to do is, be in medicine or something, invent something, create a new cure for something, and in that you'll become famous and successful. So yeah, aim for being good at what you do, the very best at what you do. Cool.
Thank you
And
so
talking
much.
of cosplays as well, when people come and meet me, I often say, so who have you come as today? And then they say, it's not even a cosplay. I'm like, okay, that's your normal clothes. Good. Well done. I thought you were a zombie. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming here. I was
all
actually wondering, who have you gotten really close to through the years and you're still in contact with? And also, I'm presuming you got to keep the gold from Leprechaun.
I haven't got any of those kind of plastic shillings at all.
Okay. Well, we're still after him.
Yeah, I'm still after it. I'm still killing people. I'm still after it. I mean, close cast members would be particularly the ones from Harry Potter. Some who we've lost recently in the shape of Michael Gambon. Really cool guy. I mean, let me tell you a couple of things about Michael. I mean, he was just a very funny man, full of wisdom. And I used to sit during night shoots, it's cold on the back lot of the studios, around a kind of heater. And Michael would be chatting about theatre. And then he'd talk about people like John and stuff, and Lawrence. Then you realise he's talking about Laurence Olivier and John Gielgud. It's like, okay, cool, wow. And another thing Michael used to do, he had a long beard as Dumbledore. And at lunchtime, they used to put the beard inside a cloth bag because they were worried he'd drop his dinner in it, his lunch. But then what Michael used to do, he used to sneak the bag off and then take bits of lunch and kind of weave them into the beard. And then put the bag back on. And after lunch, the makeup artist would take the bag off and then be presented with a buffet of food in the beard. Yeah, it was terrific, yeah. I love Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left, so we got these final questions.
This has got to be the best two. These last two questions are the best.
I'll make it quick.
Don't let me down.
My name's Brianna. Thank you for being here, and also
Thank you,
thank
Brianna.
you for the amount of grace and talent that you've put into roles for so many years.
Thank you.
I don't know if this question is answerable with the strike, but with what you do with Willow Management and promoting other actors in the UK, are there nuggets that you think, especially as an American audience, that we've missed along the way that you would say, oh my gosh, this is where I've promoted people, or things to look for in the future?
Well, Willow Management, for those who don't know, is an agency that I founded that represents short actors in the UK and all over the world. One of the things I'm most proud of, I suppose, that you might not have heard about in this country is the formation of the Reduced Height Theatre Company. Now, that was a theatre company that entirely consisted of short actors. And I produced and funded a tour of the UK, and we did a play that was called See How They Run, which was a farce. It's called a farce. So it's very quick and it's very funny. The thing I did to promote these actors who hadn't had the opportunities that I've had was I reduced the scale of the set. So the set is a living room in a vicarage in England, so very quaint. I reduced the scale of the set so that when I was stood there with the cast, I would look average height. So it wouldn't none of the comedy was about us being short. It was just purely about the performances and the comedic kind of script. And so I toured the UK with that for about 6 months, lost quite a lot of money, But yeah, unfortunately, it'll never go out again because unless I get funding from somewhere else. But it was a really great thing to do artistically, and hopefully I've helped a lot of other short actors along the way. That was a cool question, thank you. If you go online, you can see photographs of the play. If you type in "see how they run," Reduced Height Theatre Company, there'll be some images there if you want to check it out. Okay, what's your question? This is going to be the ultimate question today.
Good morning, Mr. Davis. It's
Good
lovely
morning.
to meet you. My name is Liza.
Hello.
As an actor who is different from the physical norm, have you ever encountered any accessibility issues on set or people who are just always asking the same annoying questions?
On set, I mean, they're usually pretty good productions, especially now. They'll get some sort of advisor on to kind of advise on what can be done to help other short actors. Like particularly on Harry Potter, I've never seen so many plastic step stools. They were everywhere to reach the bathrooms, the catering. I mean, they really looked after us. Also on Willow as well, the series. Disney really worked hard to make sure everyone felt very comfortable and everything was accessible to the short actors in that. But for me as an individual, I mean, the world is a challenging place. I mean, one of the things you guys probably don't realize is just to get out of my hotel room door is absolute night. I need to dislocate my shoulder. You know the closers they have on doors for safety, fire safety. I mean, literally it traps me in the room. It's so difficult. I've now conned onto the idea of when I check in, I get them to come up and try and loosen that device a little bit. One hotel, they took it off completely. Then I nearly threw myself across the room because I was expected to be stiff and shot backwards. So yeah, I use my little Segway to get around, and that helps me reach stuff as well. If I'm like at a buffet at the breakfast, I can reach things better. Yeah, I mean, life can be kind of challenging for me and my wife Sam as well. No, she's also short. But these challenges kind of make us who we are, don't they? Without them, we wouldn't be the same person. And it makes you more resilient, more persistent, and people are always willing to help as well. You know, if you ask somebody, you know, would you mind just giving it a hand? That'll often make them feel good about themselves, and in turn they're helping us, and I feel better as well. So it doesn't hurt to ask somebody, because more often than not they'll be willing to help out too. Have I answered the question?
I definitely think so.
You reckon? I normally like to finish on a comedy moment, but that was quite heavy, wasn't it? And deep, that one. I'll try and say something funny before we leave.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So before we do wrap it up, I wanted to ask you about where you're from. Is it pronounced Epsom? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right.
I was born in Epsom in Surrey, which is south of London. Yeah.
And I saw also Jimmy Page and Andrew Garfield are also from the same town. So what's in the water that makes you guys so wonderful and fabulous?
Now, here's my ignorance. Who's Jimmy Page?
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. Oh, cool. Very good. Are they both from Led Zeppelin?
Andrew Garfield is a Spider-Man.
He's finding his way home. You live in Epsom. Exactly. He's from Epsom. Go back there.
Yeah, right. Before we do wrap it up, any thoughts you want to leave us with here this morning?
Anything I want to leave with these guys? Come see me at my table. I'm signing all day. No. No, it's been great. Thank you for coming out to Nightmare Weekend in Richmond. Hope it hasn't been a nightmare weekend for you, literally. No, it's good to be here, and thank you for all your support over the years. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Awesome. Nice one. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Thank you.